For today's watch review, we're taking a look at the San Martin SN084. So let's get right into it. You can find this directly from the San Martin website for $230. I paid $260 out the door after shipping, and I imagine you should expect to pay around the same. And let's do that quick 360 just so you can see how light falls on it on different angles. Here's the other side. It also has the helium relief valve. And then here's the clasp. And there you go. The diameter without the crown is 43 millimeters, and including the crown, that goes up to 47.7 millimeters. For case height, we are looking at 14.2 millimeters. And then for a lug to lug, we are looking at 50 millimeters. And then a band width of 22 millimeters. For weight, it comes in at a whopping 198 grams, or just under 7 ounces. Now keep in mind this is adjusted for my wrist, so out the box it's going to be slightly heavier with all of the links attached. And here's how it sits on my 7.5-inch wrist, and also just some footage out and about so you can kind of see how it looks, in a realistic environment. Starting from the outside and working our way in, right at the top we've got a 120 click unidirectional bezel with that beautiful texturing all around the edge. Right next to that we've got a sapphire crystal, which also has the date cyclops right there. I don't know what the level of magnification is, but it does make that date window pop out right at you. We also have a screw down crown, and then underneath all of that we've got the applied indices. It really gives it a beautiful 3D look to it with the BGW9 Lume. And then underneath all of that we've got the NH35 automatic hand winding hacking movement, and this is all encapsulated in a case that provides 600 meters of water resistance. And now let's go straight into that Lume Shot. You can see that it's beautiful, it's got a very pleasant glow, and it does last a very long time. BGW9, while on paper might not be number one, in my personal opinion it's up there. For me it can very well be number one because it'll be strong in the beginning of the night, and if you wake up early enough in the morning there'll still be a substantial glow, so no complaints with the Lume here. Going back to the bezel, like I said, we've got a 120 click unidirectional bezel. It's very smooth and very pleasant. This is probably one of my better functioning and better feeling bezels in my entire collection. Lineup is just great. You do have a ceramic bezel insert, and then the texturing on the side, or the teeth if you want to call it, they're very functional, almost too functional, almost too grippy and too sharp, because this will catch on to anything. And oftentimes I will find that the bezel has been moved slightly, not a big deal, but I guess that just shows you the effectiveness of the texturing on the outer edge. For the crown, we've got a wonderful screw down crown. Threading is great, very easy to take out and put back in. Once it's unscrewed, you can hand wind it or adjust the date or the time, just like any other crown. And then screwing it back in is also just a joy, very easy to do. And then it is also signed. You've got that 3D engraving almost of a shark, which I would assume would be on a Heimdallr, but who knows? I don't know what they were thinking here with that design. But it's there, and you know, sign crowns are always a cool thing. It gives the watch its own little character. The bracelet is your standard 3-link bracelet. You've got a brushed finish throughout the entire bracelet, and you've got a fold over locking clasp here, milled steel clasp, so just wonderful, especially at this price range. I mean, it's hard to explain the level of quality that this bracelet is, and it is fantastic. You've got San Martin written right there on the safety tab. And another interesting thing is the end links. So I don't know what they were thinking here. I actually quite like that. Sort of like how that center link kind of comes out while the side links are recessed. But you know, it gives it some variety and quite unique. I like it. I think it's overall a very comfortable bracelet as far as the fit goes. You've also got a lot of micro adjusts. What is that? 6 micro adjusts, so you can really get that perfect fit. Another thing I want to mention is the pins are screw pins, and for me personally, I feel like that just gives the bracelet a higher quality feel to it, and it also just makes it super easy to adjust. You probably already saw it earlier, but here is a better shot of the Caseback. As you can see, there are no designs or anything on it, so it's a very safe move. You know, you can't mess up that which isn't there. So no designs means all you have left is a clean Caseback. Really, there's nothing else to say about it, but you do have that fantastic brushed finish all along it, and I kind of like it. You know, I'm kind of split between two modes of thought. I would have liked to have seen like a cool engraving on the back to give that watch that character, that individuality, but at the same time, this is simple, it's classy and clean, and you can't really hardly ever go wrong with that. I don't know, let me know what you think. Do you like a design on the Caseback, or do you like it simple like this? For the finishing, as you can see, we've got a brushed finish throughout the majority of the case and the bracelet, and then on either side we've got a high polish finish. And I think it's safe to say that having a brushed finish like this just automatically makes the watch look like a tool, and I think that's just a wonderful thing. Now for my personal thoughts, I really think that this watch is the perfect balance between cost and quality. Now initially, you know, I've got plenty of Submariner homages. I started off with the Invicta Pro Diver, and there's nothing wrong with this watch. I absolutely love it. It's so fun and beautifully affordable. But I can't deny the fact that at the end of the day, this feels cheap. Not cheap as in poor quality, just not up to par on where I'm at in my watch collecting journey. So I decided to kind of upgrade, and I ended up getting another Invicta, the Grand Diver. And this is a fantastic watch also. I love it, it's fun, it's beautiful, it's just really good looking and comfortable, but I felt like it was a bit too blingy, right? I felt like there was too much of a high polished finish. I felt like the overall case height was just a little bit too thick, right? Overall, great watch. I still love it. It's, you know, one of my favorite budget-friendly timepieces, but I wanted something else. And then so now I found the San Martin, and this had everything that I wanted. You know, it had the size that I wanted from the Grand Diver, and then it looked like a Submariner, you know, just like the Pro Diver right here. But it also had that heft and that quality that you just don't get from a $80 Pro Diver, right? I mean, you can hate me all you want, but that's just how I feel. The San Martin is just a absolutely superb watch. Now, that's not to say that there aren't some things about it that don't bother me, because there are some. namely the movement and the price. So while I do think that this is a budget-friendly Homage, I just don't think I should ever pay more than $200 for a watch with an NH35 movement. And that's just my personal belief. However, with that being said, I was able to overlook that because everything else was so fantastic. From the second you open this cheap plastic case that we all know and love from St. Martin, and you get your hands on the 084, you can immediately feel it, and you can immediately tell that this is a Homage that is special. I mean, you saw the weight, right? The weight's a little bit ridiculous. It's on the heavy side, you know, right at 200 grams, actually over 200 grams.
Damn. That's a big bitch.
But with the density and the heft and everything, and how that bezel action is, how smooth it is, and how smooth the crown operates, that heft really translates directly to just an overall feeling of quality. If there was one thing that I could possibly come up with as far as improving on the watch, aside from putting a better movement like a PT 5000, I think the finishing, not so much the overall finishing, just like the edges, if they could touch up on those edges, because they are a little bit sharp. They do almost feel like 90-degree edges all along the bottom, and you will feel that on your skin, not to the point where you're never going to wear it. It's just to really put this watch over the edge and just better than the watch that it is homaging. You know, that would probably make it like a #1 watch. Also, another thing that's so great about it is the dimensions, you know, the diameter and the lug to lug. This is a slightly larger watch, of course, but for slightly larger guys like myself, this is the perfect alternative. It's not obnoxious, right? It's not like 50 or 60 millimeters in diameter. It's just enough to where it will look right on someone like me. You know, I'm 6 foot, around 260 pounds. I've got a 7.5-inch wrist.
Damn. That's a big bitch.
Having a little tiny watch might look funny on me, and I think they did a great job here for the big and tall crew, if you want to call it that. So long story short, I highly recommend this watch. Obviously there are some minor things that could really put it over the edge, but all in all, I think St. Martin made a home run with the SN084. And if you've been looking at this one and it's been kind of piquing your interest, then I will tell you, if you buy it, you will not be disappointed. So that's all I gotta say. Thank you for watching. I hope that this video helps you with your next watch purchase. Make sure to join my Discord channel, or server actually. We've got a great community there. You know, we talk about anything. It doesn't have to be watch related stuff. You know, you just want a BS, or you just want somewhere to share your watches, or even sell your watches, or anything really. Come on and join my community. You'll be more than welcome there. But anyways, thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in for my next review. All right, bye.